Hey y'all, it's your girl Angel Sunshine. And I'm here today with a message because Spirit says you need to hear this. And whatever it is you need to hear, you know you can find that right here on my TikTok and my YouTube. I want to thank everybody for the likes, the shares, the subscribe, the support to my channel. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't followed me on YouTube, please do so. 15 minutes of this video will be up on TikTok. The full video will be up on YouTube. If you would like to donate to my channel, my Cash App is Sunshine Neat. You could donate whatever it is you want to donate, but the donation for tonight is $1.11. You can also donate by loving this video, sharing, and commenting. If you want to donate to my channel, you can always donate by purchasing the book I wrote. They on Amazon. If you're looking for what the name of the books is, you can go check them out. And my on my TikTok spotlight, you can go check that out there. If you want to donate, you could comment, you could share, you could love, you could send gifts through TikTok. However it is you choose to donate to the channel, it's all good and it's all appreciated. If you don't have no money, that's all right. You could donate by just following me, you know? So, y'all already know I go live and I go live talking about love. But this reading here specifically for somebody that's in separation with their partner. Maybe y'all haven't spoken in a while, you know, you put it where it resonates. So, if it don't apply, let it fly. All right, y'all, let's jump on into this reading. And let's see what the overall energy is when it comes down to you and your person. What's the overall energy for the collective tonight for this reading? What's the overall energy for the collective tonight when it comes down to love? What's the overall energy? I get one more. Ooh. Ooh, them cards flew clean out. All right, so in the shadows, it says scars can't shine without darkness. It actually says stars can't shine without darkness. But I said scars can't shine without darkness. And that's crazy because the last time I went live, it's like the same thing came out, but in a different day. And I was basically saying, like, a lot of people try to erase the hard times and the dark times when it comes down to love. But, you know, when it comes down to it, you got to get through it and go through it in order to understand it, you know? So I feel like collective, when it comes down to love, you could have been through a lot. And like I said, I feel like I just did a reading on this. So it's crazy that this is coming out back in the energy again. But maybe somebody needs to hear this again, you know? Maybe somebody feeling like they're in a dark time right now. Maybe collective is somebody out there that, you know, they regret the dark times that they went through, or they upset that they allowed themselves to go through whatever this was that you went through, you know? You put it where it resonates. But like I said, stars can't shine without darkness. So you got to go through a little bit of darkness in order to get to the light. And like I said, this could resonate in any area of your life, but specifically I'm talking about love. You could have been through a lot when it comes down to love, collective. You could have went through a lot. You know, you could have trusted a lot of people. People could have let you down. People could have betrayed you. But like I said, you may be in the energy where you feel like you could have did better or you could have chose better. But at the end of the day, you couldn't have chose anything if you didn't know. So when it comes down to love, don't let the darkness stop you from shining. It's every legend starts small. So collective, the legends, the people that's legends today, they didn't get where they was at because they took big leaps of faith. You know, sometimes things start off small. So I feel like when it comes down to your relationship, it may not be Beyonce and Jay-Z, or it may not be Rihanna and ASAP. You know, it may not be those type of relationships. It may not be that power couple connection. It may not be what you thought it was going to be. But every legend starts small, you know? Everything starts small. Nothing starts big, you know? And I feel like the smaller things start, the more you can learn about it. Like, say for instance, and I always use this analogy with the tortoise and the rabbit. The rabbit thought he was going to beat the tortoise because the tortoise was a tortoise. You feel me? The rabbit thought he was going to get ahead of the tortoise because the tortoise was a tortoise. But the rabbit was so busy on trying to beat the tortoise that he didn't focus on the journey. Meanwhile, the tortoise was running into people on the journey. The tortoise was running into people as the tortoise was running the race. But the rabbit was so focused on the wrong thing that not only did he lose the race, but he didn't gain no knowledge or wisdom while he was running. So the reason why I'm giving you that analogy, collective, is that when it comes to love, you know, it's not about you being compared to somebody or, you know, you wanting somebody else's connection, because everybody relationship goes at its own pace. You know, everybody have their own fair share lessons when it comes down to love. You know, everybody have their own fair of experiences when it comes down to learning that scars can't shine without darkness. I keep saying scars and not stars. So like I said, collective, you could have been scarred when it came down to love, or you could have been scarred by this person, you know, or this relationship. But understand that whatever is happening to you or whatever it is that you're going through it so you can shine. You going through it so you can teach another. You going through it so you can know how to get through it. Feel me? We have shed every skin that doesn't fit, even if they call you cold-blooded. So I feel like collective too when it comes down to love or like relationships or just in general. A lot of people may call you cold-blooded, you know, but I don't see people that set boundaries as cold-blooded. If my boundaries when it comes down to love or life or whatever it is, collective, you put it where it resonates. If you feel like I'm cold-blooded because I'm setting boundaries, or you feel like I'm cold-blooded because I'm protecting my heart, or if you feel like I'm cold-blooded because, you know, I'm trying to stay focused, or I'm not allowing certain people to be around me, or I'm not jumping into certain connections, or, you know, I'm not opening up so fast. If you feel like you want to call me cold-blooded, understand that I've been through a lot of darkness in my life. Feel me? Understand that I've been through a lot of things in my life, you know? And those things could have stopped me from opening up to love, or those things could have stopped me from, you know, starting again. But instead, I shedded I shedded that skin, just like a snake sheds its skin. I'm not calling you a snake, collective. I'm just giving you an example of what I mean when I'm saying you shedded skin, which means you was reborn again. You went through things. It changed you. It opened up your eyes. And I'm speaking about love, collective. You could put it where it resonates. But I'm talking about love when it comes to love. You done been heartbroken. You done been knocked down. You done cried. You done got back up. You done loved again. You done got backstabbed again. I feel like when it comes down to love, you've been through a lot. But you never allowed it to change who you was. You shedded the skin, but you never shedded the goodness in your heart. You know, you never stopped loving the way you love. Because people, you know, backstabbed you, or you felt like, oh, I shouldn't have opened up to that person. So I feel like you could be in this energy now, collective, where, you know, you went through what you went through. You went through a shitload of darkness, but at the end of the day, this darkness made you shine even more than what you were shining before. So maybe in the past you didn't set boundaries. Maybe in the past you gave away your love too much. Maybe in the past you was too loyal. You know that there's people out here that's really loyal, to just loyal by fault. Feel me, collective? They just loyal on accident. I'm one of them type of people, like somebody could do something to you, collective, and you don't even got it in your heart to do it back. That's what I mean by loyal by fault. You know? Say, for instance, somebody cheat on you. See, a lot of people, they like to get people back. Oh, I'm going to get them back. Collective, you could be somebody, you respect yourself too much to try to get somebody back. Or it's not really in you to really get somebody back. So the best thing for you to do is walk away. That's how it is. A lot of people ask me, how you walk away so fast? Baby, you better be lucky I'm walking away so fast, because there's people out here, they retaliate. You feel me? You break their heart, you cheat on them, you break their trust, you betray them, they retaliate. I mean, literally sit down and think about how they could get you back. I'm serious, there's people out here like that. And then you got people like me and you, collective, that's loyal by default. So even if we wanted to get a motherfucker back, it ain't in us, in our heart, to do somebody how they did us. So we learn boundaries. So if somebody calling you cold-blooded, collective, because you got certain boundaries, or it's certain people you want to deal with, or you not opening up your heart so fast. Not saying that your heart closed door, but you studying and you watching before you open up your heart to somebody, because the shitload of darkness you've been through when it came down to love. So, collective, if there's people saying, oh, the collective is me, or you can't get the collective, or, you know, the collective is stuck up. No, I'm not stuck up. You don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know how much times my heart got broken because I was loyal by 4. And then when you loyal by 4, you be getting mad at yourself sometimes. But it's like you can't get mad at yourself for having the heart that you have. That's why you got to set boundaries. So shed every skin that doesn't fit, even if they call you cold-blooded. If it don't fit who you are, let me give you an example, collective. I'm the type of person, right? If I gotta be malicious, or if I feel like I gotta get you back, or if I feel like I gotta come up with some type of plan or something, that's not me being me. You feel me? Sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you going against yourself to get somebody back or to make a point or something like that. You feel me? And I'm learning that when that do happen, hold on, because the door done jump right the fuck out my head, y'all. I'm learning that you don't have to change who you are because of what you've been through. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You know, you don't have to change who you are because of what you've been through. And if people want to say the collective is me, or the collective is hard to get, or the collective is somebody that it's hard to talk to or catch up with, that's their problem. You know why you moving the way you moving, collective. You know why you setting boundaries. You know why you doing what you doing, and you know why you revoking access. You know why you doing, and you cannot change the heart that you have. If you loyal, you just loyal, collective. What, you gonna be unloyal? That's just who you are. That's why I'm saying this, collective. The darkness that you went through it so it could show you the trait that you have that others don't have. And that trait is loyalty. Because think about it. When you and somebody break up, the first thing you think about is how loyal you was to somebody. Like, I could have cheated on this person, or I could have did this to this person, or I could have did that to this person. You know? And then you start getting mad at yourself because you be like, damn, this person didn't deserve that energy from me. Everybody don't deserve that loyal energy because it's hard to find. So when you find somebody that's loyal, a lot of people don't know how to appreciate it. You know? They don't know how to appreciate that energy. That's why you have to set boundaries, collective, because you've been through a shitload of darkness because you're loyal. You're somebody with a good heart. That's just who you are. You know? And I feel like if you got to be in a connection with somebody where you feel like you can't be who you are, which is loyal and have a good heart, and you got to start moving a certain way, and that's why I say shed every skin that doesn't fit. That's not who you are. You know? Just because you got your heart broken, just because somebody stabbed you in the back, or just because the relationship didn't work out, or just because somebody cheated on you, what that mean? You not going to be who you are no more? You not going to be the loyal person you are no more? You not going to have the good heart you have no more? You going to let somebody come in and project that energy onto you? When God gave you the heart he gave you for a reason? When he gave you that loyalty streak that you have for a reason? You understand me, collective? So whatever it is that you've been through and where you had to be tested in places like how loyal you was or how good your heart was, know that God was watching the whole time. God was watching what this person was doing to you that was wrong. And he also was waiting to watch to see what you was going to choose to do back to this person. You know, a lot of people, they be looking at my life like, oh, Shaniqua got it made out. You know, she got fans on TikTok. She got her TikTok. She healing people. There's a lot of celebrities that notice me. And, you know, people be looking at it like, oh, she thinks she all of that, or this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. And no, it's not that, you know? It's not that I think that I'm all that. It's just that I've been through a shitload of darkness. before I got where I'm at today. I didn't allow what happened to me to change me, so I could be right here today, up here on TikTok, sharing this wisdom and knowledge with y'all. You know? And like I was saying, growing up, God gave me millions of tests before he gave me this right here, this platform. Before he gave me the goal to heal people. Before he gave me the goal to speak on love. Before he gave me the goal to do research for CUNY and all of that. Before I got where I was at, God gave me tests. God allowed me to go through things, and especially when it comes to love. That's why I get up here and I talk with y'all about love, because a lot of people not experienced when it comes to love. You go trying to express something to somebody, they giving you bad information because they don't want to see you happy. So it's really hard out here in the world to find good wisdom and knowledge when it comes to love. But I've been through so much that I'm able to share it with y'all. I've been through so much darkness that I'm able to shine my light bright enough to share this wisdom with y'all when it comes down to love. Especially when it comes down to being loyal. By force. You just was loyal. You born loyal. I used to be so mad at myself when I was younger. Because I ain't want to get people back. Word, it just wasn't in me. It wasn't in me to get people back. And I never understood that, but I understand that now, even at this age. I still won't get a motherfucker back. Because karma is real. Karma is a real thing. You do somebody dirty that's loyal by force, they just automatically loyal by force. You think you're going to get away with something like that? You think God going to let you get away with treating somebody bad that was loyal by force? No, karma gonna come for you. And even if it come 2 years later, it's coming. It's gonna come. Then we got God could shift you from waiting to walking in it. And I feel like collective, you could be waiting for somebody to come in, somebody that match your fly. And when I say fly, I'm not just talking about clothes, but I'm talking about your fly, like your personality. You know, the way you move, your morals, your goals. Somebody that's going to come in and match your fly. You probably like, well, damn, God, where my person at? I done been through this. I done been through that. I done been under there. I done been on top of that. You know, it's just like when I done been through so much darkness, when the hell is I'm going to shine? When is me and my person going to shine? But understand that God could shift you from waiting to walking right in it. And when he shifts you from waiting to walking right in it, you want to be ready. I'm hearing Yolanda Adams, I gotta be ready. It's a song she got on one of her albums. And she basically was saying, like, when God come through with his blessing, I gotta be ready. When God come bring me what I need, I gotta be ready. When God bring me my person in, I gotta be ready. So when my person come in, I can know that this darkness that I went through, it only helped me shine. So I'm going to be ready when they come in. I'm not going to be upset that my relationship didn't work out that I invested in. I'm not going to be upset that marriage didn't work out that I invested in. I'm not even thinking about all of that because I went through all of that so I could shine. Shine a light on the fact that I need to set boundaries. Shine a light on the fact that I'm loyal by default. Shine a light on the fact that I got a good heart. Shine a light on the fact that everybody don't deserve my good energy. These is the things that this darkness that I've been through started shining the light on. So when God bring me in, when he want to bring me in, or when he bring me in my person, I'm going to be ready. You understand me, collective? I don't know if y'all ever heard that song by, let me slide this over so I can see the comments. I don't know if y'all ever heard that song by Yolanda Adams. But she basically said, I got to be ready. You got to be ready when God bring in what it is that you asking for. So when he do bring in your person, you don't want to find yourself saying, damn, I've been through a lot. Damn, I got my heart broke. Damn, what if this person break my heart? You don't, you know, and if you just understand that what you went through was a series of tests, I'm telling you, it's all a test out here. I wrote on my Instagram, because, you know, I've been through I'm telling you, it's all a test out here. I wrote on my Instagram, because, you know, I've been through a lot of stuff. You've been through as a setback, and start saying, okay, maybe this was a test, or maybe I had to learn something from this. You know, when I was young, I had so much stuff offered to me, you know, and because of my heart and the way I am, I pushed it to the side. Like at 16, I could have had a BMW. Feel me? It was somebody around me that was so in love with me. You heard that this man was older than me, though. He was older than me. But in my mind, I already knew that, you know, I don't want no damn sugar daddy. The fuck? But I still took that man money. I never had sex with him or nothing. But he was offering me so much. He wanted to get married and all of this stuff. I'm like, well, I'm 16. How the hell we getting married and shit? What the hell? You know, I was very smart while I was young. But I sure did take everything that he offered me. You heard? But that man went and bought me a house. He went and bought me a car. All of that stuff that was waiting for me till I hit the age 18. Not the house. I could have been had the house, moved my mother in the house. We could have moved out the projects where we were staying at. But because my mother raised me a different way, she raised me to know that we get married for love. You don't marry nobody for money. You feel me? That's what they do in them other countries. And I also, when I'm looking back at it now, I'm looking at it like God was testing me. It's like all of this stuff was pushed in front of me. Let me give y'all an example. And I was mad young. I was young. And even as a young girl, I still did the right thing because I'm loyal by fault. You heard? Even in certain situations, you just loyal by fault. Anyway, listen, y'all. My father was a piece of shit. You feel me? In other countries, they try to make the kids marry for money. You know, they don't care if the man older than you or none of that shit. If you know, you know. And so behind my mother back, when I used to go to my father's house, his friend liked me. He was mad older than me, y'all. So what I did was I played my father and that man. And I was like, you know, if this man ever try to touch me or my father ever try to make me do something, I'm gonna tell my mother. You know, because my mother didn't know that was going on. But like I said, I was young. I was taking all of that money collective. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Feel me? And I ain't mad at myself for neither for doing that. But my point in telling y'all this is that I had the house, the car. I had all of this stuff pushed in front of me. And now that I'm older, I'm seeing it as temptations. You know, that was a temptation from the devil. And then you got God in the background sitting there trying to see what choice is she going to make. Because, see, I always had gifts and I wasn't stupid. I knew, even when people tried to do stuff behind my back, I knew what the hell was going on. You feel me? That's why I told y'all my father is a piece of shit. Because he really tried to make me get with this man. And then they really tried to, what's the word? Groom me. And I was grooming their ass. But long story short, the money, the car, all of that stuff was placed right in front of me. And I chose to go down the right path. You feel me? I chose to marry for love, not marry for money, or not go in business. Because this really, my father didn't really care about me. All he really cared about was getting the money from that man. Feel me? And there's plenty of us out here with similar stories like mine. You know, some people don't speak up on stuff, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell my story, you know, because it may, somebody said color purple type shit. We understand. That's mad funny. But yeah, like, it's people out here where things was sat in front of them and they didn't even know that it was really God testing them. So my point of really telling y'all that story is we go through stuff And we look at this stuff as setbacks and holdbacks. Whole time it be lessons or it be a test from God. You know, that man cheating on you or that man trying to break your heart was really God trying to see, are you going to get this person back? Or are you going to love yourself to walk away? You know? You understand what I'm saying, collective? And then we got this card, Rose. This card here is, when I made this card, I was talking about an actual rose. Roses, you could, collective, you could be somebody that like roses. But roses stands for healing, love, and psychic powers. Feel me, collective? So, hold on, y'all. Let me get this baby. So, yeah, collective, you could like roses or your name could be Rose. But a rose symbolizes healing. Feel me? You gotta heal from things that was meant to break you. It's either God was testing you or you was learning a lesson. Stop looking at the things that you've been through when it came down to love as something that was meant to keep you held back. You understand me, collective? Don't look at what you've been through or the darkness that you understand that you went through what you went through either as a test to test your loyalty, to test how good you are, how good your heart is. Because God is always testing to see how good our heart is. I could have married that man when I was young. I could have waited till I was 18 and just got with that man for his money, y'all. Real shit, I'm being honest with y'all. But that wasn't the right thing to do. You understand? That wasn't the right thing to do. And that man really liked me too. But I didn't like him like that. Because what the hell is your old ass liking me for anyway? I just knew that shit wasn't right. So it didn't matter how much money he was giving me or how much money he was offering me or what house he was offering me or none of that shit didn't matter to me. Morals mattered to me even at 15 and 16 years old. Because you got some girls out here, they'll go. I done had friends. Come on, y'all. I ain't even going to get into that. But they will go and marry a person for money. They'll stay with a man for money. They not staying for love. They not staying. And believe it or not, God is sitting back watching. You understand? That's why a lot of people be miserable in relationships. They be staying to prove a point. They be staying for money. They be staying because they dependent on somebody. They not like us, collective, where we come with morals and we loyal by default. That's why you got to set boundaries. That's why you got to move the way you move. That's why people calling you cold-blooded. You understand what I'm saying, collective? Anyway, y'all, so I did the healing message first. Let's jump on into the reading for real, because I just wanted to get the overall energy. And the overall energy, collective, is, like I said, you've been through a shitload of darkness, but don't allow that to change how you love, and don't allow that to change the way you loyal, and don't allow it to keep you stuck in the past, or don't make it feel like, oh, you know, why I keep going through this, or why I keep going through that. Maybe you need to learn a lesson. If you find yourself, listen, I'm going to give y'all a little wisdom. Collective, if you get in a connection, and every time you get in a connection with somebody, it's the same kind of energy, because I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes we be getting with people and we be like, damn, you remind me of my ex, or you remind me of this person. That's because it is the energy. You need to learn a lesson. If you find yourself running into something over and over again, or you find yourself doing something repeatedly, that's because it's a lesson in it. It's something you need to learn. Something that need to come out of it. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all, when you go through heartbreaks or something don't work out, and then you find yourself running back into the same energy again, that's because you didn't learn the lesson. And I feel like the lesson you needed to learn with this energy, collective, and I feel like this is bigger than relationships, was that you was being too loyal by default. You was giving too much by default. You had a good heart by default. This is just who you are. Feel me, collective? So because it's who you are, you have to set boundaries. Because it's who you are, you may found yourself going through periods of darkness or times where people betrayed you. Because this is who you are. And 9 out of 10, these people come in your life to try to make you not be who you are. You know? But the overall energy for tonight's reading is whatever darkness it is you facing, or whatever darkness it is that you went through with this person, know that it was meant to make you shine. It was meant to teach you a lesson. It was testing you. Start looking at dark times and things that go wrong in connections like that. Change your perspective when it comes down to love. Change your perspective when it comes down to things going wrong in your life. Change your perspective when you see that the relationship is not working out. Okay, maybe I need to let this go. You know, I love this person, but it's just not working out. You know, it's your perspective on life, on love, on family. Somebody said exactly, my ex's sister does that, uses a man for money and goes, yeah, y'all know it's people out there that use you till they can't use you no more. And not just with money neither. They'll use a loyal person till they can't use them no more. They'll use a person with a good heart. This is why I'm telling you, you got to learn how to set boundaries, collective. And if you already set boundaries and people out here calling you cold or you hard to get, tell them to mind their business. Because you've been through what you've been through and it made you the way it made you because you know exactly who you are. All right, let's get on into the reading, y'all. What is it that the collective is feeling when it comes down to this connection with this person? What is the collective feeling? I got to put this on the charger. When it comes down to this person, it say love wasn't returned. So collective, whoever this was you was dealing with, it wasn't reciprocated. The reason why the love wasn't reciprocated was because this person's heart wasn't open. Collective, you loyal by fault, so your heart is always open, even when you don't want it to be open. Feel me? I feel like you've been through so much shit that it's like the devil wants your heart. It's like it's like y'all gotta look at this shit like spiritual warfare. Feel me? When your heart is open, that means you can hear God. Your abundance is flowing in. Your goals is playing out. Things that you want is coming to you. You can attract what you want when your heart is open. Now, when your heart is closed, you can't attract the things you want. You can't attract the love you want, the life you want, the money you want. Everything we do comes from the heart. Feel me? So the enemy job is to make sure that your heart is closed off. So sometimes you may run into somebody or you may go through certain situations that was meant to close your heart off. But collective, I feel like you so damn strong. You heard, collective? In situations that was meant to close your heart off. But collective, I feel like you so damn strong. You heard, collective? You so breaks or whatever this is that you going through, it only taught you to love yourself. So when people try to hold love back from you, because people used to do that to me too, collective. You know, people try to hold love back from you and shit like that's a punishment. No, you can hold all the love back from me in the world. I love myself. Feel me? Hold on, y'all. Let me go get this baby. I love myself, so look, it say healthy love. I give myself healthy love. I give myself the love that I know I deserve. So whatever love wasn't returned, it's okay. Just know that you won't be receiving it again. Sorry, y'all, if y'all hear Elmo in the background. Right, so collective, I feel like you was giving to this person and they wasn't giving you nothing back in return. And I feel like when we open up to people who's closed off to us, it don't do nothing but hurt us. So say for instance, you meet somebody and y'all get in the connection, you come in with this bubbly energy. But before you know it, that same bubbly energy you had is zapped. It's not even there no more. You're not feeling like yourself. You're not doing the things that you used to do. That's because you giving away all your good energy to somebody that's not giving it to you in return. So when it comes down to love, it's equal give and take. If you can't give me what I'm giving you, then maybe we don't need to be together. Feel me? Because if you can't give me what I'm giving you, that means I'm going to have to stop being who I am, the giving person that I am, the loyal person that I am, because of what you doing to me. Feel me? So collective, I feel like you could have walked away from this person. Because I said this at the beginning of the reading. You could have walked away from whoever this person was because they wasn't giving you what you was giving them in return. They was draining you like an energy vampire. Feel me? And it probably hurt you to know that somebody could do this to you. And then you probably was sitting there asking yourself, why do I keep ending up in situations where I'm the one giving, and not getting nothing in return? Why do I keep ending up in situations like this? Because you're not learning the lesson, collective. That's why. You're not learning the lesson. And the lesson is you are a giver. And sometimes you overgive. But you can't beat yourself up for who you are. So what you do, collective, is you only give when it's given to you. Your energy is too sacred and precious. Like I said, it's hard to find people that's loyal. So understand, look at it like this, collective. If you meet somebody, they need to understand that you a gem. They need to understand that they never gonna find nobody like you again. They need to understand that whatever energy you bring into the relationship, they will never find that energy again. That's the energy you gotta bring. Like, I'm one of a kind. I'm a gift. I'm something you need to protect. I'm something you need to appreciate. You understand, collective? So understand, if you're not giving me what I'm giving you, I'm leaving. Or understand, if you're not giving me what I'm giving you, we won't be speaking. Feel me, collective? So when it comes down to this, you want a healthy love is a love that's equal give and take. You want healthy love. And I feel like this person wasn't giving you that. And like I said, collective, you could be somebody, you asking yourself, why I keep ending up in situations where I'm the one hurt because I gave or I overshared. Let me get my charger, y'all. I feel like this is what you asking yourself. You see this card right here? And I put these cards over here. Y'all see me. It say, God uses pain as preparation. So when your soulmate do come in, you gonna know. If you really want your soulmate to come in, you gonna know, I can't overgive. See, my soulmate gonna respect that. My soulmate not gonna just take from me. The person I'm supposed to be with not gonna milk me. You understand, collective? You gonna know. You gonna know. Why? Because pain prepares us for preparation. So when that energy try to come back, whatever vampire energy this is that's following you around, collective, trying to stop you from being in your connection, or trying to stop you from being happy, or trying to stop you from really sharing the love that God gave you to share, whatever energy that is, you're going to be able to put your finger on it now when it try to show up again in your life. God used pain as preparation. God used darkness to make us shine. So your next relationship you get in, if somebody think they coming in to use and abuse you, because this the energy you carry. This is the energy you carry. Loyalty, love, kindness, light. That's what you carry. So know that you're going to attract dark souls. Know that you're going to attract narcissists. Know that you're going to attract energy vampires. This is who you are. This is what you attract. It's just who you are, collective. You can't change that you got a good heart. You can't change that you loyal by default. These are the things that you can't change about yourself. So understand that these type of people gonna try to come around you for the rest of your life, because this is the energy that you carry. Your light is so bright that it's attracting people that want to suck you the fuck dry. You understand, collective? So once you know who you are and what you carry and the energy that you carry, and understand that is rare, that's when you're going to start repeating these lessons. Give me more on the love wasn't returned. So we have the Four of Pentacles. I feel like because people held back from you, it made you insecure. It made you start looking at yourself in the mirror like, you know, and it's nothing wrong with you, collective. It's nothing wrong with having a good heart. It's nothing wrong with not wanting to get nobody back. It's nothing wrong with not wanting to retaliate. It's nothing wrong with setting boundaries. It's nothing wrong with saying what you don't like and what you do like. It's nothing wrong with that. Feel me? But because these people or this person was holding back from you, it kind of messed with you a little bit. You know? But maybe that's what it was supposed to do. Maybe it was supposed to make you start asking yourself questions. Then we got the Ten of Pentacles. Having it all looks different to everyone. You understand what I'm saying, collective? People might look at you and think you got it all, not knowing that you went through mad shit. And if you look at this card here, it's cats here. It's cats here. So cat stands for intuition. So I feel like, collective, you got a lot of family, maybe people that passed on from you. It could be a mother, grandfather. You have family that's in the spirit that literally watch over you. They put you on